Discover why this is the wrong way to work with actors on today's Two Real Guys. Welcome to Two Real Guys. I'm Norman Holland.
And my name is Larry Jordan. Working with actors, whether professional or amateur, is the heart of every production.
There's a right way and a wrong way to work with actors. We're going to go up on stage and we're going to show you both.
I wish I had learned this 30 years ago. Here's an example of what we mean. Our actors, Andrew and Lisa, are rehearsing for a scene we'll be using in an upcoming episode. Between takes, actors frequently tell stories from past productions and the people they've worked with.
What makes me crazy is when a director doesn't give any direction until after they've shot all the wide shots and are getting ready for the close-ups.
Yeah, Lisa has a great point, Larry. The work that an actor does in a wide shot is just as important as in their close-up. Actors need to know how to interact with the world that they're in and the characters in order to do their best work. It's the only way.
If you think about it, an actor acts with more than just the lines of dialogue. They act with their body and they act with their breathing, and they need to know what that character is on the wide shot as much as they do on the close-up. Otherwise, you're giving away all that extra emotion on the wide shot that you don't have to give away.
Right, and they need to know it from the beginning when you start shooting. Just think how stupid it's going to look when you cut from something where they know what they're doing in the close-ups over to the wide shot where you hadn't given them any direction at all. So yeah, it's best to have that consistent.
Let's go back down to the stage and see what Andrew has to say.
Or when the director doesn't block out the scene and just says, oh, just do something.
This is without a doubt a director failure. It's an abrogation of a director's duty. They have completely screwed up. Maybe I'm making this a little bit too bold.
Oh no, there is no way that you could hit this too lightly, Larry. This is horrifying when we do for actors.
Because an actor is the whole goal is for them to tell what your story is. And if they don't know what the story is, how do they fit their acting in? You need to give them a sense of the boundary, the environment in which they're playing. Now, that doesn't mean they can't collaborate and can't make it better, but a director has got to come in with a clear idea of what they're doing and how they want it to look.
That's right. Would you tell your cinematographer or your lighting cameraman, just do something? No, you'd get a very different character, a very different story. So why would you do that with an actor? It's the same thing.
Another good example is you have an electrician that wants to wire your house. You don't say wire the house, you say I want this done at this point with this result. Now the electrician can come back and say we got to tweak it a little bit, but you're going to come in with a very specific plan. It is no different when you're dealing with actors. Right. Give them a plan within which to work.
It gives them a playing field to work on, and that actually increases creativity. It doesn't limit it. So let's go back upstage and see what Lisa has to say.
Or how about when they say the same thing 5 times, 5 different ways, when you got the idea the first time?
The fastest way to kill a performance is to overtalk it. And you constantly repeat directions, constantly, and it undermines the actor's self-confidence. And I'm going to assume that you cast these people because they're good at what they do and they're smart people. They're not stupid. So why would you say the same instructions time and time and time again?
What though if the director likes listening to their own voice more than anybody else?
That's a good opportunity to go home. Because you know you're not going to get a good film out of it. You're not going to get a good project because it's not about the work. It's about the person.
And you also have to remember the director's not there to act. The director's there to direct. The actors are there to act. So give them the instructions and step back and let them do their work.
Right.
Let's go back to the stage and hear what Andrew has to say.
Or when it doesn't matter what you do, they just love everything you did.
Now, there is a reason for a director to say, let's do it exactly the same way twice. You're doing a protection copy, and you want to have a good take in case something goes wrong with the first one. But most of the time, if you don't like it, give them reasons why you don't like it.
Actors need guidance in how their performance is going to fit into the overall story and the overall project. And if you love everything, that's no guidance at all. It would just be like saying to any other member of your team, as we just talked about, just go do something. I love it. It doesn't matter what you do. And they'll quickly lose confidence in you and their ability to work with you.
Because you're a sounding board for the actors. They want to say, does this meet the story needs? And the only person that understands the story is the director.
Well, there is in fact the word direct in the word director, so that you are hoping to direct that ship, to direct the entire creative industry.
Let's go back to the stage and see what Lisa has to say.
For me, the worst is when the director can't describe the story, which means I don't know where my part fits in.
It's all about story, and the actors are discussing the story and presenting the story and emoting the story and talking the story. And if they don't know what the story is, then they don't have any ability to get their work done.
Yeah, they are really desperate to learn their story, their character's story, or they're going to supply their own. And if the story is not the same as yours, that could be disastrous for the whole movie.
I mean, can you imagine 4 actors on stage and every one of them's acting a different version of their version of the story?
I have seen that, Larry. I have seen that. And then later on, as an editor, when you get into the editing room, you have no idea how to shape the scene. You have no idea what the story is.
It is a disaster waiting for someone to just poke a stick in it. It's
right.
done.
Sometimes it doesn't even wait. Sometimes it's just a disaster from the top.
We'll be back with a tip right after this. When working with actors, don't show them how to act. Don't tell them how they should feel. Instead, show them how their actions relate to the story. Then give them business and blocking that allows them to express those emotions that you want the audience to feel. When working with actors, focus on the story.
Getting good performance from an actor, Larry, it's no more mysterious than getting good performance from any other member of your creative team. Once you've figured out what your story is, then you work with each one of your actors to develop that story by being clear, supportive, and it's helpful if you're open to new ideas.
The key to remember is actors want to tell your story. You just need to tell your story to your actors and then get out of the way.
And what does that mean, Larry?
Directing.
Directing, right, and knowing what your story is.
It does indeed. My name is Larry Jordan. His name is Norman Holland. And this is The Two Real Guys.